Hey, this is Rich O'Neill with Elite Functional Performance here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today we're here to talk to you a lot about what's been happening in relation to the Peloton bike. When pandemic started and people were working out in their house and work from home and not getting to the gym as frequently, the Peloton became a very popular exercise device in a lot of people's regular routine. So we've been seeing a lot of stuff coming into our world related to some of the physiological adaptations, things from tight quads, foot and ankle problems. Folks have been having some stuff related to calf tightness and tension. So today we're going to take you through some strategies using some very basic tools that are going to help to prime the body and prevent, maybe reduce the risk of some of those injuries that come from those areas. Hey, this is Rich O'Neill with Elite Functional Performance here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And like most people, the last year and a half, we've been seeing folks cranking away on the Peloton more than we ever have before. So today we're here to talk to you about some of the things that we've been seeing and how we can alleviate some of the stress on the body coming from this position. So the first thing that we end up seeing with a lot of folks is the tight quad, tight calf, tight ankle situation that happens from some of the positioning. Now, I believe that a lot of this happens from the fact that we are sitting a lot in our lifestyle, whether that's in a vehicle, at a desk chair, in a sofa, doing the work from home thing, whatever it is. So we tend to stay in a very passive hip flex position with the upper body maybe a couple degrees forward of neutral, and then we get on the bike. And when we get on the bike, we're really utilizing the quad muscles as the primary mover to create that hip flexion action. And then depending on whether or not you use the shoes that have the clips in them, what we can see is the position of the clips being more toward the front of the shoe than the midfoot or the rear foot tends to put the foot in a specific position with each down pedal. So what I mean by that is when we're moving through the pedal cycle, we tend to see folks push down into the ground because the clip is in the front of the shoe. That action of dorsiflexion or plantar flexion rather is going to put the calves into a short position and tighten some of that up, tightening up the heel cord. And we've seen a lot of people coming in with some ankle problems and some tight calves, and that might happen when they're out doing a run or when they're out playing tennis. So we look at this position and some of the things that are related to these mechanics as things that we can focus on and things that we can start to bring into a better awareness while we're on the bike. So we're going to come up with some strategies today to help you with cleaning up the mechanics on the bike, as well as using the foam roller to give the love to the muscles that are needed to kind of let things breathe a little bit. All right, so the first muscle group that we're going to focus on today is the calves. We're going to focus on the calves because when we're pushing down through the toe in that downward pedal stroke action, we can see the calf muscles, especially the medial compartment of the gastroc here, start to really get very snug and very short. So that foot pointed down position is going to tighten up in here. So we're going to focus on in here and on the other side compartment to get a little bit of, we're going to get this to loosen up a little bit. So we're going to use a foam roller here and we're going to put the upper part of the lower leg, the area that's nearer to the knee, on the foam roller. Here you can decide for yourself if that's enough pressure, the weight of this leg coming down, or if you want to add some more force, we can take the opposite leg and put it on top to weigh that leg down. I'm going to support my body in an upright position with my arms behind me. I can even come down to my elbows if I feel like I need to be there instead. Once I've got myself in the position that I feel most comfortable in, I'm going to begin kind of flossing up and down until I find the spot that feels to be a little bit snug. And by snug, we mean there's an area that doesn't feel pleasant when we roll over it. When we find that spot, we're going to stop rolling. And once we begin rolling, we're going to use the bottom foot to begin making circles with the ankle. Now the idea with this is that once we have the trigger point isolated, or that hot spot in the muscle tissue isolated, the circles are going to be able to get us back some range of motion that gets inhibited at the ankle from the tension upstream in the calf. So we do about 10 or 12 ankle circles, and then we're going to switch direction. And after we do circles in both directions, we're going to point and flex. So I'll point the toe down toward the floor and then pull the toes up toward the knee, and we do about 8 to 10 of those. Once we've got all those completed, we're going to switch sides and complete the same thing. I can wrap the other leg over, I'm I'm gonna floss around until I find a spot that doesn't feel particularly comfortable, and then I'll stop rolling and begin my ankle circles on that side. Get about 8 to 10, maybe 12, switch direction. And after I go in both directions, I'll pull the toe toward the knee and then point the toe toward the floor for about another 8 to 10, maybe 12. And we can complete that back and forth until we've done about 2 minutes worth on each leg. So the next area that we're going to focus on is the front of the thigh, the quad muscle. This group of muscles tends to get overused in the action of pedaling, specifically pulling the knee up toward the hip with every pedal stroke. Now the area that we're going to focus on most today is going to be from about the dead center of the belly of the muscle on the front down toward the kneecap where the muscle inserts. So that area from about 1 inch to 3 inches up from the kneecap to about the midway point in the thigh. So what we're going to do is begin by having a roller on the floor, and we're going to come down as if we were getting into our prone plank position, and that middle part of the quad is going to go right on the roller. Now I've got my other leg supported in space as if I was bracing for a plank. And then what I'm going to do is begin to, from the middle of the quad, shift my weight into my upper body so I can roll my body back and forth, down toward the knee and back up toward the mid quad. As I'm moving back and forth here, I can explore to the outside of the thigh, right down the front side of the thigh, and maybe a little bit to the inside of the thigh. Now when I find a particular spot that might have a lump on it or might feel like it's a little bit more sensitive than another area, I stop rolling, and from here I'm going to work my heel to my butt on that leg, performing the action of knee flexion. So that quad muscle that gets overused from pedaling is a major knee flexor. So once I've got body weight down on that hot area that's restricting knee flexion, I begin getting those lost degree range of motion back. So about 8 to 10 butt kicks here. And then on the last one, I hold that leg up and I move side to side like a windshield wiper. All along being wary of not dropping out in the lower back here. We gotta make sure that I can keep my core active to support the spine throughout the entire movement. If you need to take a break and take a rest, get off of there and then come back in. We're looking for about 1 to 2 minutes on each leg with this. And once we've done the butt kicks and the windshield wiper, we'll switch legs. So if you use the Peloton, be sure to do these either before or after or both on a day when you ride. And if you don't use the Peloton, this can work its way into a warm-up, cool-down, or an active mobility session within anybody's program, no matter what kind of training you're doing. So thank you for watching this video, and please be sure to check out our website for more information and to leave us a message to get started with us.